For more on the popularity of online shopping, we're joined now by Savio Chan, co-founder and CEO of US-China Partners, Inc. He's also the author of China's Super Consumers. Thanks so much for joining us. First, online shopping saw a major surge, a boom during COVID. People didn't want to go to shops, or, well, they simply couldn't. Can it be sustained now that things are largely opening up?
Yes, because Chinese consumers really love shopping so much that even though the last 1.5 years they've been consumed all domestically in China, but now with all the new tools and new festivals like 618 and all the major platforms are jumping into creating more entertainment, engagement, and experience to make shopping online a lot more fun than normally what you think in the US or other countries. So I think the trend will continue because of the new methods of engaging with them. And they really turn it into really a festival and gala and video, short video, and all kinds of a festival to make it interesting.
How do Chinese and Americans shop online differently? In China, I know the role of live streaming, for example, plays a much bigger influence than in the US.
Well, Chinese consumers are really mobile native, and they use their phone a lot more than the American consumers, and also a lot of them are single child until recently, and so they are really fed by not only the parents, the grandparents, and they consume a lot more than the US counterparts. And also in China, unlike America, they have far less entertainment choices. They don't have NBA, NFL, and all these games to go after. So their choice of entertaining is a lot less. So shopping become really a national hobby.
The Chinese have also really mastered the one-stop e-shop, these super apps. Those don't appear to be as strong in the US, do they?
That's right. The super app like WeChat, and now TikTok's cousin, Douyin, all these things are the things you can do on the Chinese phone and paying all the bills all in one is really amazing. So I think until you really work and live in China, use those tools, it's hard to imagine. You compare what we use on Amazon and Spotify and all these things. They rolled all these things into one, so it's a lot more engaging.
I'm always amazed in China how these consumers have enough cell phone power to do what they do. I want to talk about the growth numbers. What does it tell you about economic recovery or strength, what we've seen in each of the countries?
Well, I think that China has really pushed towards rely on the local consumption to drive the growth of the economy. They really want the GDP growth to rely a lot on local Chinese consumptions. So they're putting all the stops to stimulate that, right? And they are really helping the local companies, e-commerce companies, online, offline, to do all kinds of stuff. And this, just like you said earlier, this 618 have generated $89.54 billion US dollars of consumptions, in this 3-4 weeks of a festival. That's a large number, right? And it's going to grow in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years continuously without any stopping. Now that it's opening up more, there will be even more. I think and now like Douyin, like the TikTok's cousin owned by ByteDance in China, is the first time they're getting involved with this festival. And look at they engage L'Oreal and all these other companies, and they create a game for you to play a game to earn coupons and to play for stuff. They are much more creative. So all these tools are going to help stimulate the consumers to do a lot more.
Numbers aside, how does Amazon Prime Days compare to major online shopping days in China? You mentioned 618 and also 11/11.
I think first of all, China's a lot larger, right? It's 1.4 billion people versus we have 300-something million people in the US. And so when you think about it, right, in about 5 years' time, by 2026, Chinese will have more middle-class consumers, middle-class people, than the entire US population. And of course, they're really much more into shopping than we do. So their numbers are, 5, 10 times larger than us, and they're leading, and they're growing. So I think that, even though Amazon is really good in the US and dominating, and they're getting better and better, but, in terms of their way of how they engage and how they, stimulate and work with the consumers, now the student in the past has become the teacher. Now we are learning from China as to how they do things to get the consumers to spend more money online.
Some fascinating numbers there. Savio Chan from US China Partners, Inc. Thank you for your insight.
Thank you.